this meeting go?
Mr. Buckley.
Here.
Mr. Cater.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher is absent, but a quorum is present.
Okay, Peterson.
And,
Let's see, Rise.
yeah. Arise for the pledge of allegiance, please.
His dad.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, please lead us today in this meeting, and let me safe with everybody going out today, and just watch over us all as we try to do what's best for the county. Ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so we have the consent agenda.
Kind of funny.
Yeah. So you have
Oh, well, I can tell
several
you what
things
we
down
had.
there. Since
Yeah.
you don't have it on the.
Sorry, guys, yeah, and since I'm not as good as Philip, I'm learning, I'm trying to train. But approval of minutes, appointment, other specialist assistant prosecuting attorney, then appointment order sheriff for Joshua Hall, destruction of broken equipment for the collector, monthly report treasurer, sales tax report treasurer, monthly report collector, monthly report county clerk, monthly expense report auditor, disposal of old records collector, and disposal of old radios sheriff's department.
Okay, now, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and you're voting aye.
Aye. Yes. Sorry. All right, any tabled items? None? Yeah, okay. General business, award of annual bid for the county clerk's election.
Yeah, I got several bids that we'd like to award. Everything that we could just, were standard printing and supplies, Mental office supplies, are gonna get that. The specialized printing, like the ID cards, Rice and Company, who has been our supplier for those, has bid on those and got the best bid there. And then Atkins, who does the envelopes and those type things, so that we're asking for a motion and approval of our annual bids for the election. In reality, this is for next year's election, but we have to have the supplies and some of the cards and things, the change of address, those things have to be done this year, but we will probably not have an election until next year, but we have to get all the supplies.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve county clerk's bid for the award bid for the election.
Okay. I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Request to bid, oh, all right, should have asked for discussion, I'm sorry. I'm not as good as Harold, but I'm working on it. Was there any discussion on that, anybody? We already got it, I'm sorry. Okay, request to bid, road overlays, John?
John Gross, Highway Administrator. We would like permission to solicit bids for our road overlays for the 2021 year. Once these projects have been bid out, they will be awarded at our leisure when the roads are prepared.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the solicit bid for road and bridge.
Okay, second, any discussion?
These will need to run in the paper for about 3 weeks, and we'll award them 3 weeks from today. Open them 3 weeks from today.
And standards, what we do every year, and then as the season goes on, they award them as.
Right.
As we, complete it.
And these
allows.
These also,
And funds allow.
they're to your discretion when the roads are prepped.
Yes.
That's when they'll make it to which roads they pick first.
We have a few ready right now that we'll award immediately, but we'll just wait and see when the bids come in. And we'll have a pretty good meeting in the meantime with our contractor.
All right, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, guys. Approval of engagement agreement with Jeremy Shook from the assessor's office. Dan? We'll move that later, Dan.
Thank you, Dan Ward, County Assessor. This is a replacement for the gentleman who had to back out of our group of attorneys due to a conflict of interest. Mr. Shook belongs to another company that will be joining our co-counselor. I believe last time we spoke, we talked about an appraiser who was replacing another appraiser that had left. This is actually the attorney that's taking the place with the company that represents us now in these joint agreements with Missouri Natural Gas Appeals. So it's not really, only we're doing is changing names. We still have the school district assisting in the payment of the bills that come through, but we're changing attorneys only. We're adding another attorney because the other guy backed out due to conflict of interest.
Same agreement and everything with this guy, the same thing. All right.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the request for the, Jeremy Shook for the assessor.
Okay, I'll second that. All in favor? Oh, or any discussion? Sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oh, yeah. Bid openings, hands-free toilet sinks, etc., maintenance.
These are the upgrades that you all authorized to get bids for a while back to, okay, we have one bid, and that's from Capital Supply Company for $27,807.65. So, we wanna make sure that that's $27,807.65. So, they're not here for maintenance. I don't know if that's within their budget, but I would
Is that in all
send
the
that to
buildings?
your auditor,
Is that in all the buildings?
just about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we are doing this, we just put up the towel dispensers that aren't hands-free, but that's,
Any
you know, so
discussion?
the last thing you do before you leave the bathroom.
This does not include
It's
road bridge.
touched.
No, this is maintenance.
What all does that include that's being replaced?
Sink flushings for side mount retrofit kit for water closets and urinals, so all toilets and urinals. Then you have to have faucet batteries to be able to do that, and then, you have to have the battery powered kits to operate them, and then you've got a 4-inch single hole deck plate to be able to accommodate the units.
I think they have an eye on them, and if it don't work, it's got a lever too.
I don't know, but if I suggest to my wife that, I have hand-free, toilets, it's probably not gonna go over, but I guess we don't.
Well, and also, we talked about using
It
some
goes to you.
existing,
We'd like
funds.
to come back to you next week, because I believe it is in the budget, and I believe it was done properly, but we'd like to come back to you with a recommendation for next week.
Okay, so we'll table that till next week. And
We
I
can
guess
table
is
that, make a motion.
Yeah, go ahead and make a motion to table, and then we'll make
We'll
sure.
make a
it's on the
motion to table that till next week.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I guess, next week. Approval to seek SMART grant, from U.S. Department of Justice, Prosecuting Attorney's Office.
Hey, Ryan.
And Ryan.
Just the numbers for you to look at, if you want.
Thank you.
I'm Ryan Miller, I'm the investigator for the prosecuting attorney's office. This won't be as fancy as my last presentation, and it'll be pretty short. But part of what we're doing here is, we're seeking your approval to get a grant from the United States Department of Justice. It's a full grant that we don't have to match, but in order to meet the numbers of what we're willing to ask for, we are gonna ask the county for a 10% match over 2 years if this grant is awarded. But our proposal for this, the maximum award is $340,000. If you look at your sheet here, we're gonna be asking for 1 prosecutor that we can hire, 2 secretaries, an investigator to replace me, and I will be migrating to a different role. And then also for the Carpel LEO interface, what that is a module in our case record system that can interface directly with law enforcement to import all of those case referrals we talked about. and it does it automatically. So it would eliminate the need for one of our employees to spend all that time doing manual data entry. So we're just seeking your approval right now. The grant deadline is April 26th, and then the awards would be made in August.
How many year?
It's a 2-year grant, and the award period begins in October of this year.
And your total that you're applying for?
The total that we're applying for as far as the grant is $325,800.
And the 10% match on that would be the
Yes.
32,000
Yes.
36,
or somewhere in that area.
36,200.
Yeah, it doesn't
If
look
we
like my
would get-
calculations are
Yeah, I was
right here,
That's
but it
all
should
right.
be 32.5.
That's why. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that would be our commitment if we in fact award the grant.
Couple
Well,
thousand.
Yeah, that's fine in the budget, right?
Louis good with that. Auditors don't care.
Just write that off, right, Louis?
And
Zero,
then
zero, zero.
after the grant, is this an ongoing grant, possibly every 2-year thing? Or do we
It looks,
take on-
it looks like it's part of the Affordable Care Act, actually, when you look at it. And right now, it does seem that it's something that has been awarded previously. So we're hoping that this would be a continual thing, but if not, I mean, have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But at least to deal with the needs that we have right now, I mean, that would be very beneficial for us. So we'd ask your approval to seek this grant.
I'll make a motion for the prosecuting attorney to seek the SMART grant from the U.S. Department of Justice.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Go ahead, Louis. Got a look.
No, I'm just,
I'll take it.
but you're just seeking approval
Approval to
to
apply.
work for the
Yes.
grant, to go forward with the grant.
Yes.
This
it
is
just-
not an
If
adoption.
This is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Rest of my knowledge, we're not doing this unless we get the.
Okay.
the
Right,
grant.
this is
Yes.
just to give you guys an idea of what we're applying for, because I had spoken with Amber last week, and she just kind of ran me through the process
Oh,
of where to
good.
start with it.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
just seeking.
I got you. Yeah, it's nothing we're going through until we.
Right,
I
right.
got
We
you.
haven't done anything other than just get
As
set
I
up.
look, Louis, I'm worried.
Cool.
No, that's good. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much, man, appreciate it. We like that we're very minimal cost for the county. All right, so, any correspondence? Any public comment? And department reports?
Do a final wrap up on the election we had this past Tuesday. We had, just as I said months ago, that I thought it would be between 10 and 12%, it was 10.45% participation, which is just pretty pathetic, considering we had several mayoral races and 2 county issues. But we promoted it, and the people just didn't seem to care a lot. And everything else went off like clockwork. We had one of our poll workers that fell while working, and we're trying to work that. We sent him to get x-rays, and we still have yet to receive the billing for that, but that will be an expense that comes in. And I don't know if we're legal, we're gonna check out, see if that can be used under work comp or billed to elections or whatever, but it's always the risk you take when you have 100 poll workers out there, and some of them are up there pretty high and have got some ailments and stuff. I noticed this time that we went around to every precinct. I think we had 4 that were on walkers or canes, so that's just one situation.
And if anybody wants to be a poll worker, they
We
can
still,
contact
we
you.
hopefully won't have any elections to next year. As I said, the supplies that we have to do, we have an ongoing, that department has ongoing to keep up the files and everything for it, and we will have training before that, but we don't have a scheduled one. We can have one in August, we can have one in November, if any entity put it on the ballot, you know, like a tax issue or something like that, but we're not scheduled to have one until next April, and we will have 3 next year. I think you had a question.
Yes.
What's the status? I haven't kept up with it on that 3-way tie of letting race.
2 of my understanding, I talked to the mayor yesterday, the 2 of the people that got the 3 votes declined to serve. And so therefore, they don't even have to have a flip of a coin. But that's what we were trying to emphasize, because it would have been very costly. Per capita, it would have cost about almost $200 per voter to do a special election. And the 2, and they didn't say they were going to be write-ins. I know the one gentleman I talked to didn't vote for himself, so he had no, I mean, he wasn't like trying to, so he had no desire to do it. Well, I mean, he wasn't a filed write-in candidate, you know, he just, 3 people put his name on the ballot, and he said, I have no desire to do this. So that was the first one to back out, and the other one said that they would back out rather than putting the town through a $2,000 or $1,500 process. So that's the latest on that. I think the other 2 cities that had write-in candidates have worked out, because there was a couple of them, one of them, that the person wasn't a resident that got the most votes, and so when you don't have an official write-in, we check if it's an official write-in if they're qualified candidate for the most part, but they were a registered voter in a different city, so.
Let me.
It was
So that's the
That
status.
was me, you know.
Yeah, and I guess you know, each entity of course pays to be on the, have their election, correct?
That's correct. And that's already done. We, just for you guys now, is we bill that early. This is a lot, we say, okay, this is what we think your share will be. Then when all the expenses come in, there's usually a small rebate to every one of those entities, but we're always better to be 5 to 10% over and us sending out checks. And we just certified the election Friday, so we'll be sending out checks to our poll workers in the next week, and also getting back these entities. Then they've told me in the history, if you underestimate the amount, then you have to go back to every one of these cities that meets sometimes irregularly and say, okay, we need another $250 to pay for your share of the, you know, getting those checks takes months, whereas if we owe them $55, we've got that check out within the same month.
Well, I just want to make sure, I mean, I know most people are aware of that the entity itself having that election pays for the election. So even though it costs us how much per voter?
Well, in this case, if it was Ludington, they had 47 people vote in the election. Usually have about half participation in special elections, so you would have about 20 voters, and it would cost $1,500 to $2,000 to do it. So it would have been, per capita, very expensive to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then also I wanted to say with the county employees and probably bring it the city link over to health departments who want to have a vaccination here at the courthouse. And Dave sent out a flyer. If you guys send us how many you want to have. We need to get an idea of how many vaccines we're gonna need and how we're gonna work it so she'll have an idea.
I think it's a great opportunity for the downtown area, the cities, if they want to send this. For example, US Bank does not have enough employees to have their own shop, but if we're going to go around and market it with a flyer to all the local area attorneys' offices, every officer in the area, that they would have an opportunity that day to come over and get their shot.
If you would, they'll give us an idea, because we really need to know how many, what to be ready for if we're gonna put it on.
This is employees, friends, and family. Right?
Yes.
Employee, friends, family, and
Yeah, I
I'm
gave
probably
some
gonna
people some
contact the
emails that
cities,
didn't respond.
cities too, and see if we can get enough, you know, where we'll have a pretty good, group to come in to do it.
She had expressed that she'd like to have 200 to 250
Yes.
at least to do it as a day. Doing 1,000 is a whole different thing, because you've got, they do those on Saturdays, so they get the guard and everything like that, but they think they could do a 200 to 250.
We need to
inoculation.
get an idea how many we're gonna have. Right?
And the city's already said that they would help with traffic, and we would do it on this back lot and block off half the lot. And she's talked about how we would move them through, and then they'd have to stay for 15 minutes to make sure they were okay. So
An amazing one this weekend. You guys should have seen it. It was just National Guard and everybody, volunteers from out of the state. I mean, they're
were
working
they do
here.
1,000?
They did over.
We had
they probably
1,300
did.
by 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Wow. So they wanted 2,000. I don't think they made that number, but it was sure close. People were coming through. You're asking where they're from. St. Louis, Camdenton. I mean,
We had some from
Camdenton, that's down
Chicago.
the lane.
That's why
Yeah.
a lot of people do
People
come
go
down
here
here to
from
take. That's why we like to have one for some of the local businesses and the people here to make it available to our local businesses. And for people that have just one person at their shop or two, to be able to come real quick and get it and get back, we think that would be a very big benefit for this area. And hopefully then we could do one on the northern part of the county if that was the case.
Do they come back around and to do your second vaccine?
That was the one shot.
That was
Now,
the
this
Johnson
one-
Johnson
Okay.
on Saturday.
Isn't that on recall now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after that one, ours will be a 2-shot.
I don't know if it's a recall, because I don't think you can take it back out.
I don't have to recall
Well,
it.
Send it back.
Suspended.
Yes, yes, sir.
It has been paused
Yes.
as they look at, some reactions have included, blood clotting.
Yeah.
So they paused it to understand those reactions. I think it's important to understand that every shot
Has some.
Yes.
can have an adverse reaction, which is why we get to sit for 15 minutes,
Yes.
check it out. So this is just one of the cautions being taken to assure that it's good to go when we've determined what's going on.
I think they had 5 incidences, and on this past Saturday, they gave 5 million
Yeah.
shots on,
Yeah.
on that day alone. So, yeah, the numbers they're talking about are
And,
staggering.
you know, and it's overcautious, but it's really necessary.
But if they use the other, we will have the shot day, and then we will have the follow-up
Yes.
day scheduled at the same time.
Well, we had one out there that they didn't even get the shot in.
Yeah.
He went out there, he looked at the needle and boom,
He was out.
down he went.
That's a side effect. That's a side effect
Dude,
right
he
there.
went out.
Nick, thank you very much. Nick had a big role in that, and with our emergency management, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right. And, go on.
Thanks.
Any other department reports? What do you think?
Okay, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second. Any discussion on that one? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.